Hey, this is Kelly and Pavel with Backyard Pod.
We wanted to show you how to determine if trees in your property are protected and how to calculate critical root zones.
Okay, let's do it.
Depending where you live, there are different regulations on what trees are protected. The bottom line is that certain trees above certain size are protected, and then we have to calculate critical root zones around those trees to make sure that no structures are built in those areas so we don't affect the trees in any way. So there's a few ways of calculating it, and we'll show you the easiest one. You will always have to double check what constitutes a protected or heritage tree within your municipality, but that is the easy part. An easy first step to determine if a tree is protected is to give it a hug. If you can wrap your hands around a tree, typically that tree is not going to be protected. If you can't, it's a telltale sign that you have to do a little bit more research. And if you need any instructions on how to do it, here's Kelly hugging a tree.
Too big. It's protected for sure. It's really protected.
So now that we know what the circumference of the tree is, we can calculate the radius or the diameter. Generally speaking, municipality is going to tell you whether the tree is protected based on the diameter. For instance, in city of Austin, anything over 19 inches is a protected tree. Everything over 24 inches is a heritage tree if it is part of one of the species that are protected. There are 9 species. Easy way to calculate the diameter is to take the circumference and divide it by pi, everyone's favorite number, 3.14. In our case, this circumference was about 111 inches. Diameter in this case is approximately 35 inches. If this city was in the city of Austin, it would be a protected tree. The next step for us now is to calculate critical root zones, because we know it is a protected tree. We cannot impact it in any way. So we have to be now cognizant of the critical root zones. To clarify one other thing, if the tree isn't protected, we don't have to worry about critical root zones. It's only relevant, and we have to keep those numbers in mind if the tree is protected. Once again, check your municipality code and see what kind of size of a tree dictates tree being protected. Kelly, you're supposed to be measuring at 4.5 feet, not trying to climb it.
What? Okay, so my way is way easier to calculate this. Basically, you take the total diameter, which was 111
Circumference.
inches. Circumference, 111 inches. And then you simply take that, you turn it into feet, and that's the total horizontal critical root zone. So way out here. Now what you do, if you cut it in half, so that'd be about 50 feet, that is the half critical root zone.
That is a great example. This is what it is in the city of Austin. The way city of Austin calculates it is that you have your critical root zones, and then 1/2 of the critical root zone has stipulations, things like some of the foundations can't adhere there, or we have to utilize special type of foundation. So 50% of that 111 feet that Kelly mentioned in her video, thank you for mentioning that, Kelly, is going to be then protected, and we have to do certain stipulations in order to be able to build there. One thing that's very important is that 1/4 of that 111 feet is absolutely no touch zone, so we cannot have our trenches, we cannot have our buildings within that 1/4 area. So in this case, how much is 1/4 of 111, Kelly?
Well, probably divided by, it's probably 25 feet.
A little bit more than 25 feet.
The actual math of the quarter root zone is 27 feet and 3/4. So we cannot build within this entire critical root zone. It's a no-go, but we saved the tree.
There are a few other stipulations related to critical root zones. When we build a pod in your property, we're going to have to protect those trees, apply root protection and tree protection, but that's all that our team can handle, and we can make sure we're in compliance with all of your local requirements.
You can actually order a feasibility study on our website, and we can come on site and measure the tree for you and see how close we can build.
Thank you so much for watching.